Hello, everybody. Now we're going to move on to graphing parabolas. And a parabola is the graph of a quadratic function. And a quadratic function is a function that starts off with y equals some number plus x squared. So let me just make some notations on Jamboard. It's loading up. Okay, there's our shading the circle. Okay. All right, so quadratic function. I'll put f apostrophe n for function. It's written in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. But that's the way chumps write the function, the quadratic function, because there's another way that we can express it. And when we express it that way, it makes it a whole lot easier to graph and to predict what graphs are going to look like. So when I say you should always write it in the form y equals a times x minus h squared plus k, where a, h, and k are numbers and x and y are the variables. So let's go to our Desmos. And the parent function is called the most basic function. So the most basic function for a quadratic function is y equals x squared. And that's what that looks like. So this shape is called a parabola, and a parabola can open up, or if it's negative in front, a parabola can open down. This belly button of the parabola is called the vertex. All right, so now let's go with the variables. So y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And I'll add sliders for all of them. And let me hide this so it doesn't get in the way. So the first thing we're going to do, see this number a, we're going to see what moving a around is going to do. And as a gets bigger, ooh, the parabola gets skinnier because it's growing faster. A is like a slope. And as a gets smaller, the parabola gets wider. So let's go like 0.01. Look how wide that is. All right. That's kind of narrow. Okay, so the slide. I think I got rid of my slider, but that's okay. All right, and then when a is negative, the parabola opens downward, but it still has a vertex. But when the parabola opens downward, the vertex is on top. When the why'd that happen? When the parabola opens upwards, the vertex is on the bottom. Okay, so while we're on the subject of vertex, let me go home to the home. All right, right here, the vertex is 1, 1. But what happens when we move around h? Now remember, h is associated with the x up here. And this is the x-axis, the horizontal axis. So when we move h, oh my goodness, it moves it right and it moves it left. When h is 0, the x-coordinate of the vertex is 0. When h is 3, the x-coordinate of the vertex is 3. When h is negative 4, the x-coordinate of the vertex is negative 4. How about that? All right, let's see now what k does. So k is, if we had subtracted k from both sides, it would be over there with y. But let's see. As k gets bigger, ooh, the parabola goes up. As k gets smaller, the parabola goes down. All right, so when k is equal to 0, the y coordinate is 0. When k is 2, the y coordinate for the vertex of the parabola is 2. When k is negative 3, the y coordinate for the vertex of the parabola is negative 3. So the value of a shows how wide or how skinny the parabola is going to be and whether or not it opens up or down by its sign. Remember, when the sign's negative, it opens down. H is the x coordinate of the vertex, and k is the y coordinate of the vertex. All right, so I'm going to want to make a happy parabola. So look at this one right here. I like that one. So we have y equals, now the value of a is 0.3. 0.3 times x minus the value of h is -4 squared plus the value of k is -3. And there we have it. So if we turn this one off, we just have our black one. If we turn the black one off, we have, oh shoot, and the black one off over here, it's negative. All right. So since you're getting so good at this, I'm going to graph another parabola. Y equals -2 times x plus 3, or I'll say x minus -3 squared plus 5. All right, now suppose I only wanted part of the parabola. Suppose I wanted the parabola to start right here. That's when x is equal to -5. We can round it off. -4.9 is about -5. And when the y value is equal to about -1.3. I'm sorry, the smallest x value is -5. The biggest x value is going to be -1.3. So we open our brace and we say that -5 is less than x, which is less than -1.3. And there we have it. How about that? So that's how we close the brace. That's how we make a piece of a parabola. The first one is the whole parabola. The second one is the piece. Let me copy this so I can put it in the Jamboard. Okay, so I'm going to write on top of this if I can. So this one right here, oh, it does let me, is a piece of a parabola. And this one here is the whole parabola. Now, it wouldn't be any fun if I didn't teach you how to shade. So that's what we are going to do next. So let me go back to the Desmos, and I can clear this out. Now let's do y equals a times x minus h squared. I'll go back to the sliders, plus k. And we'll do sliders for them all. All right, I want a wide one. How's that? And let's make h go over here to about -4. Let's just get rid of it there. And let's make k around -1. Yeah, I like that one. All right, so now I'm going to write the equation for the parabola. So I'm going to put my 0.3 for A. I'm going to put my -4 for H. Two negatives, that's okay. Actually, two negatives makes a positive. I'll put -1 in for K. All right, so there's my parabola, and I can get rid of all these. All right, now if I want to shade upward, rather than having equals, I'm going to have greater than. And if I want to shade and get rid of the dash, I'll put greater than or equal to. If I want to shade downward, I'll have less than. Look at that. Everything underneath it is shaded. How about that? But I think I like it better when it's shaded upward. Greater than. Okay, now watch this for a little bit of fun. All right, so I'm going to copy this one, save some typing time, and paste it there. All right, but now I'm going to make this equals, and I'm going to change this around. I want to make this a negative. And I want it to go up, so I'm going to make this +4. Woo! Okay, now what happens if we shade this downward? So we'll say less than. And I'll do equals to, so it's solid. Look at that. So we can see where they overlap. It's kind of a beautiful design, isn't it? So let me copy this. And I can put it in the Jamboard. Make it a little bigger. Okay, so now you know everything about graphing parabolas, graphing parts of parabolas, and shading above or below the parabolas. You've done a beautiful, beautiful job. Well, I have. So what I want you to do now is stop this video when I'm done talking and go to Desmos and practice those 3 things. Graphing parabolas, exactly where you want them. Graphing parts of a parabola by having restrictions on the x, and then shade it. Okay. Oh, I just thought of something else I want to do with you. Okay, suppose we only want to color in the overlap. This point here is -6.9. This point here is -1.1. So let's just say that -6.9 less than x, which is less than, I think it was 1.3, -1.3. No, I want that more. Let's go with -1.2. Nope, more. -1.1. Yeah. Okay. This one, I would like that one a little over more. So let's go 6.8. And maybe 6.9 will work better. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to close that brace. And now I want the same boundaries here. So I'm going to copy that, paste it right here. And it looks a little different. I don't know where that blue is. Oh, because it's shaded. I was hoping it would just stop there, but it doesn't. It goes above and below. So this is something else, shading above and below, but we at least restricted it. So let's copy this one as well and put that in the Jamboard for you to practice. Okay, I'm very excited about this.
Are you on the phone?
I'm making a videotape. My wife's nagging me.
Keep the dogs in this.
Okay, so now I'm going to pause this video so you can practice these exact same skills that we're learning.